understand why you are not somewhere where you feel like you're supposed to be, whether it's in finances, relationships, in your wellness, your health, the body of your dreams. There is a very specific reason why you don't have it. And I'm going to use this example of when I was a district manager. So just hold tight with me on this because it's going to unlock some things for you. So when I was a district manager, it's almost like there's 4 levels of consciousness, right? So when you're a new level, like when you just get hired onto something or when it's your first experience with something, you don't know anything, right? So you're coming in as a completely bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like a child in a way. So there's certain consciousness at a child level that you're just not going to be able to grasp, that someone, that like a parent has information, right? So for example, manager in training, assistant manager, store manager, general manager, district manager. So there's actually more layers there than I thought. There's six levels of consciousness there. So when I was a district manager, I don't want to hit my microphone. When I was a district manager, there's some things that I was awakened to that there's no way I could have known when I was a manager in training. Okay. So if you're not somewhere where you're supposed to be, or you feel like you're supposed to be, thank God for that, because there is something that you're supposed to unlock. There's a layer that you're supposed to uncover. There's a revelation that you're supposed to have. There's a small season that you're supposed to learn something so that way you have the expertise for the next season. No, you don't deserve the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams yet, because you probably would sabotage it. No, you're not supposed to have the $1 million or the promotion yet, because you probably would sabotage it. And somebody that really wants something really bad would hear that and say, well, no, that's for somebody else, but that's not my reality. That's not me. But when I was a district manager, so I was over 400 part-time people, 30 full-time people. Okay. So if you can really imagine that, like imagine 400 people in one room. That's a lot of people to be over, right? 30 full-time, like there's 30 human beings that their career is in my hands. Okay. When I was a manager in training, like my first day at work, there's just things that maybe I thought it would be cool to be at that level. And if I'm like, well, can you just promote me next month to being a district manager when I'm a manager in training? There's a level of consciousness that you just simply cannot endure. Like, of course, there's like the outliers, right? Like somebody way over here. And also make sure to like the video. There's 5 people on here, so make sure to like the video. Also like the video if you're watching this on the replay. It gets it out to the people that need to hear this message. So we're not talking about the wonders of the world, right? Or the miracle people of the world, like the less than 1% of the 1% of the 1% people of the world that just are like geniuses or whatever. We're talking about the normal, everyday, even above average person that still has to go through their seasons of learning certain things. Okay. And I just had this revelation this morning because, of course, there's things that I want to accomplish in my life that I feel like I should have right now. There's things that you want to accomplish in your life that you feel like you should have right now. And in 2024, we always kind of sometimes like a lot of us give ourselves like this false sense of like, oh, but 2024 is going to be the year, or any year. This is evergreen going into 2025, 2026, 2027, 3033, whatever year this is that you're watching this. There's kind of like this, like, this distortion that we like give ourselves when God's like sitting back like, this is not the year. This is not going to be your year. And the thing is, every year is actually your year, but sometimes it's your year to set yourself up for your year. I don't know if some of you guys heard me on that. Sometimes your year could be the year to set yourself up for your year. Right? It might be 1, 2, 3 years to set yourself up for your big breakthrough. So if you're somewhere right now and you're looking around and you're like, damn, like I'm still in the same spot. I still already did. It's what, the 16th today? I'm still not doing what I said I was going to do for my New Year's resolution. I already failed, right? By the way, failure is not a real thing. All failure is tons of redirections and reroutes and recalibration. That's all a failure is, by the way. So if you're like, damn, like I am already not marking off some things on my checklist that I said I wanted to do for myself, or I said I was going to get in the gym more, or I said I was going to sign up for this, or I said I was going to take a course, or I said I was going to stop doing this, or I said I was going to clean out the junk food, or I said I was going to actually, start sleeping better. I was going to start drinking more water, whatever it is. If you didn't do it, it doesn't mean that you're a failure at it. It just means that there's a system and a strategy that you need to set up for yourself to actually help yourself do it to where it's on autopilot. So if you're having all these outlandish goals and dreams and things where you just know that you don't have the consciousness for it. So again, like I said, when I was an MIT, a manager in training, there's things that that's a bottom. I'm not going to say the bottom, but that's the learning, the newest level, right? There's things that I had to acquire in order to, hi, there's my sister. Hello, hello, hello. She knows she's been on this journey with me too. So there's things that a manager in training, an assistant manager in training, a store manager in training, there's no way you can know it when you are at an MIT level. So if you're wondering why you don't have something, it's because you have to go through that training in order to be able to embody it. That's why I call my page Embodipursuit. We are constantly in pursuit of embodying that next level, not just checking some things off a checklist, not just doing some things kind of good for 4 days. Embodiment. Like there's some things that I'm embodied with. Like when you think of Ciana, you think of wellness. Like you think of Ciana, you think of energy. You think of Ciana, you think of long, black, healthy hair. Like when you think of, like there's some things like I am that, right? There's some things for my sister. She's a beautiful, excellent mother, right? She's embodied with it, right? It's not like she went and like checked off some lists at what mothers do. Like she's embodied with it, right? So there's some things like if you're not somewhere in your life right now, and that's actually my biological sister, by the way, when I'm saying that. Everyone say hello to Harpadas. So when I'm saying embodiment, you cannot embody it without going through the different levels and the different transitions, right? So this is what I want to lead you to. And some people that already clicked out the video are not going to be able to see this juice. This is a picture. This is a very, very important picture. And the thing is this picture is very, there's a lot of layers in this picture. There's a lot of personal stories in this picture. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of sadness and happiness in this picture. But this picture is very important, and it's the person that the picture, the person that's in this picture approved me to show this. So, and I'm going to pull up my another picture because I'm going to do a compare contrast. So you're going to want to stick around. Also, make sure to like the video. I also do, while I'm pulling this up, I do have my How to Lose Belly Fat ebook guide. It's my ebook guide on how I got to my health and wellness with ease and flow and very minimal effort. Okay. So I'm pulling up this picture because these two pictures go together. Okay. So, I want to show you so the date on this picture is 2005. Okay. This is 2005. Okay, let me just show it to you. This is my grandma. But I want you to look at this picture. Okay? This is my mother. My mom was a couple years older than me in this picture. So like the age I am now, my mom was just a couple years older. This is my mom. So this is 2005. It's 2024 now. This is my mom in 2024. Look at the difference. She just took this a couple months ago. Okay. So my beautiful mother, beautiful then, beautiful now, but you can see the embodiment, right? You can see, let me see if I can brighten up. I hope you guys, let me know if you guys can see this. Let me know. Just like give me a thumbs up if you guys are able to see the picture. So this is my mom And this is my mom then. 20, look at the 20-year difference. You would think that this was, other than the gray hair, you would think that this was my mom, right, or 20 years ago. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because there's things that my mom embodied. There's consciousness that my mom got to in order to get to her healthier version of herself, right? And the thing is, my mother, if I were to say all the things that she does now, if I were to tell this person in this picture to do all of that, this person would have a nervous breakdown. This person would probably have to go into like a wellness center for like a month. My mom it took time for her to embody healing trauma, healing generational curses, healing, internal personal things, right? And I'm not covering, my grandmother's amazing. And she has her story too. But I want to just show you a 20-year difference of somebody that, I mean, look at that. Like, really get a good picture of this. Like, I don't think you guys understand. My mom is 63. She's 63 years old in this picture. She's still 63 years old right now. My mom was 20 years younger here. Now she looks, you could tell there's a youthfulness there that's, a 20-year difference. But look at how inflamed her face was. Look at her dental. My mom's not smiling, but my mom actually got some dental work done as well. Look at how her neck is really inflamed, right? Look at her nose is really inflamed. And again, I already approved this, but look at thinned out neck, thinned out face, thinned out, like, are you kidding? So this picture, where'd it go? Oh, dang it, it fell. Hold on really quick. So this picture is a representation of why you have to go through your journey, okay? You have to go through the levels in order to embody this person. So let me actually give you some pointers and some tips on how you can make this type of transformation. It does not matter how old you are. My mom was in her 40s. My mom is in her 60s now. Her 60s. Okay? Pain, lack of self-love, terrible health. Terrible. Eating whatever, eating fried food, eating fried chicken. And the thing is, it actually bled into her life, like on the exterior, right? So, this is really important because I want you to see what wear and tear will do to you. And I wish I could show you actually what my mom looked like 20 years younger than this. She actually kind of looked closer to this when she was 20 years younger. Life hit her here, and then she was able to unlayer here. So 20 years, right? You don't have to take 20 years. The beauty of the internet is that we can all learn from each other, so we end up all collapsing time, right? Because you learn from my mom's, like from her embodiment, you can actually massively look different in a year. Like my mom's 20 years of embodiment, you can actually collapse it into 1 year. And I'm gonna teach you how to do that right now. Okay? So number one, the consciousness that my mom had here was limiting beliefs. Okay? This is a limiting belief person. This is a limit. This is being open to learning person. Okay? Limiting beliefs, open to learning person. And when you're at this level, you feel like you think that you're doing things right. You think that you're making the right changes. You think that you're, you're a good person, right? Like you get up every day and you work hard, but there's some things that you still have some learning to do. So there's a lot of generational things in this picture where, well, in my family, we just get high blood pressure and we get cancer and we get dementia, right? We get, in my family, we just, as Black women, we just get bigger as we get older. That's just what it is. As Black women, it's just difficult to find a mate. As Black women, we have to suffer and endure and take on the heaviness of the world because that's just how it is. That's just, the way that it's been since slavery. This is the consciousness of, and I'm not saying my mom did all like complain about all those things. My mom's a very gentle, like soft-spoken person, but this is a lot of generational things here, right? So when she transitioned to this human being here is I'm ready for change. I'm ready to do research. I'm ready to implement the research. I know that the research that let me actually screenshot this so I don't have to keep I'm liking it 100 times. She's going to hit me up and be like, what are you doing? Okay. So this person, right? This person is ready to learn. She's ready to grow. She's ready to accept that she doesn't know everything, right? She's ready to accept that she can break generational curses. She can own a home, which she did. She owned 2 homes as a single woman, 4-bedroom home, 3-bath with a pool, twice. This woman right here. This woman, she was still like on the way to that, right? But there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of self-destructive speaking to herself. There was a lot of all that, right? And then what does it do? It and then it came from my grandma too. So that's a whole nother topic I'm not going to dig too deep into that because I want this to be an unlocking for you, but it's generational, right? So my mom decided to not carry that on. This is why we are close to the same age in this picture. And this is how my mom looks now. So I'm just repeating it because I know there's a couple people that are just now getting on. I'm trying to look like this. You know what I mean? So what my mom did was, number one, she knew she was very inflamed. You can see it in her face. She was highly, highly inflamed. And inflammation has so many layers to it. It runs so deep. Clean off my phone. It runs so deep with why human beings are inflamed. And it's so sad because if my mom would have continued down this path, I don't know if my mom would actually even be here or if she would be this healthy, right? Some things that we think that we're not supposed to do, that we're supposed to do, like the typical American diet, it's really bad, you guys. It just is. Things in a box, things with sugar on the back, things that are overly processed, bread, even bagels. I'm obsessed with bagels. Bagels, breads, pastas. Those things are actually fake food. And I know you don't want to hear that. But a lot of times, the reason why we don't have certain things in our life on the outside is because we're not healthy on the inside. So if you're always tired, you're always fatigued, but you know you're supposed to get something done. You're supposed to start a business on the side. You're supposed to clean something. You're supposed to organize something. You're supposed to research something. You're supposed to learn something new, but you don't have the energy. Half the time, it's just because your body's not operating at an optimal level. So you think you're doing something right. So this person here, she's like, well, I'm in my early 40s. I feel like I'm a pretty smart person. I've obviously been able to, raise 2 children. I'm still around. I'm promoted because she was working, I think she was working for the state. She had a really great job at the state at this time, but she was getting her soul sucked here, right? So she was drinking a ton of soda. She wasn't drinking water, really bad food. Like, just thinking, okay, well, the cheaper, the better. No, you actually want to spend a couple more dollars on higher quality food so that way you can look like this. So you might have to cut back on the Starbucks or cut back on something so that way you can be a healthier person. So then you can end up being like this in 20 years later. And I feel like any woman can benefit from hearing this, but a lot of women of color, specifically Black women, need to hear this. the heavy fried chicken. Well, that's just how we eat in our culture. That's just what we do. That we have the fried chitlins, or we have the fried whatever it is, and it's like my mom was say now this. So now my grandma was in her 60s here, right? My grandma was in her 60s. So my grandma, look at the difference. So if you look at, they're the same age right now. My grandma, and this is obviously her mom, same age. My grandma's still adorable. Don't get it twisted, okay? Don't get it twisted. My grandma's still adorable. But look at the difference. My grandma was living the lifestyle of the traditional black diet, black human being diet. And my mom is not living that diet now. Now, my mom still eats meat. I'm not saying, that's your own calling if you want to stay away from meat. But you're like, Ciana, where does this go with health and wellness? Because my mom's healthier, she now invests her money. Because my mom is healthier, she now is more, she had more energy to be more financially, to actually have the wherewithal to become financially literate in investing, trading stocks, trading futures, building investing accounts, building her own, switching money over from an IRA to da-da-da-da. My mom actually had the energy because she wasn't sick. She wasn't sick here. My grandma always complained about having no energy here. Same age. No energy. I just want to chill. My grandma smoked. She actually quit after 40 years because my mom actually was like, if you cannot hold the baby anymore, if you smoke. So she quit that day. But up until the day I was born, my grandma smoked. She drank beer every day, and she had her pork rinds every day. And she passed away from dementia. Same age here, my mom eats clean meat, clean vegetables, lots of fruits, lots of legumes, lots of healthy oils. My mom does not drink. She does not smoke. She does not. Now, of course, it took her 20 years, right? Like, let's not get it twisted. But she had to embody this person. Now, could she have gone from this person straight to this person? Maybe. Highly unlikely. Okay? Highly unlikely. Because this person had to break away layers, right? She had to break away layers, break away limiting beliefs, break away the fact that she doesn't know everything, break away the fact that she needed to just drink more water, get rid of the soda. Okay, next thing, I got to sleep better. Okay, next thing, I need to, do some healing internally with my self-love, self-care. Okay, next layer. Like, there's over 100, maybe 1,000 things that she did in the last 20 years, but she had to do it at her process, at her timing. So that applies to anything. If you feel like you're supposed to be somewhere tomorrow, you're supposed to have the body of your dreams next week, you're supposed to have the money of your dreams in your bank account today, you don't have it yet because you're still in the journey of embodying it. When I was a district manager, there's no way that I could have embodied being a district manager at the level of an assistant manager or a store manager. There's just things you have to do. I get that Serene, I think it's Saran. Let me know if I'm saying it correctly, but that's a really pretty name. I get that every day. So let me actually read what you guys are saying. Let's dig into this. So, all right. Mama C looks like a model right now. She really does. Okay, so this message is so on point for me right now because I'm 41, just bought a luxury car. Congrats, that's so dope, thank God. And feeling like, where's my elevated body and lifestyle? I'm investigating carnivore, keto, anti-inflammation diet, and feeling some analysis paralysis. I need to make a decision and make a change once and for all. Okay, I'm so happy you brought this up. So, all of those work. The anti-inflammation diet works, the carnivore diet works, and the keto diet works. You are going to find tons of research and a ton of benefits for all of those things. What I did to do my lifestyle where I feel like I have my thing now, right? Like I feel like I really, like I don't waver too much from it. Right now I'm on a tightening up because I always like to, my birthday's in a couple weeks. And so I always like to do a challenge for myself. So I'm like cutting out honey, no bread, No, like I'm really doing like a tightening up. I just like to put myself through challenges. But in general, I feel like I have my thing. And it's because the first diet I have, okay, how do I word this? I have to pick a diet that I'll stick to. So the only diet I'll stick to is Ciana's diet. So the only diet you'll be able to stick to is Hallie's diet. I knew I was going to say that wrong. Hallie's diet. So what does that even mean? What do you mean Ciana's diet, Hallie's diet, right? Harpodis' diet, right? It means you have to do a diet that's going to fit your personality. Every one of us have bio-individuality. My mom eats meat still. I do not eat meat. That's a personal choice. For mind, body, soul, spirituality, that's my personal choice. My mom she still eats meat and she probably will never not eat meat. Eating meat is serving my mom, right? She doesn't have a calling to not eat meat. Now the level of, oh, that's like a nice little glow. I should try to keep this here. So, the level of meat that my mom's eating is better. You could tell my mom was so inflamed here. She was your age right here. Hallie, gosh, forgive me. She's your age right here. Inflammation from the meat, fried chicken, fried everything, fried French fries, fried chicken, fried potatoes, fried tempura, like everything was fried, not fried. Face shrunk, cheekbones popping, skin popping, right? So you have to find the diet that works for you. So what I would do, I am a huge advocate with slow and steady wins the race. And we're me and you were from the same generation. So we were around before, everything was like microwavable, like quick information, get your body done, go strip and become a millionaire. Like that's fine. I'm not hating on strippers, but I think that slow and steady wins the race is how you can sustain it. It goes again with the original example I was using with a district manager. If a manager in training were to be promoted 6 levels ahead of their time, they would crumble. They would probably scream, run out of the store, start crying, and go check themselves into a mental institution with the stuff that a district manager deals with, right? So for 90 days, try one diet. That's my personal opinion. That's what I did. For 90 days, stick to just the carnivore or stick to just the keto for 90 days. As you're on, so treat yourself like you're a scientist, right? And you are the subject, you are the experiment, but you're also the scientist at the same time. See how you feel each week, each day. Can I do this? Is this too hard for me? Like, I don't feel like eating all this meat. So the carnivore, okay, 30 days in, I think I'm going to chill. Or, for keto, right? I know keto is very low on the carbs, barely any carbs, if that. If you feel like you can do that, so just pick one and do it for 90 days. So for me, when I stopped eating meat, it wasn't because I went into analysis paralysis, which I have done that several times for other subjects. But for some reason with the eating meat, it was just more of it was a knowing. But I tried it for a day. I was like, I'm just not going to eat no meat for a day. Then it went into a week. I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. I can continue. Then all of a sudden it was a week went by. Then all of a sudden a month went by. And I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I've been able to grasp this. All of a sudden 3 months went by. All of a sudden a year went by. Okay. So now I had to learn along the way. I was eating way too many carbs. I was eating a lot of French fries, a lot of bread, because you're still hungry, right? So I was eating a lot of pasta. I was eating a lot of stuff, right? It was weird. I actually lost weight, but I was also really doing heavy levels of HIIT cardio and weight training. So I kind of like turned the carbs into like fuel. But most people don't do that. And I just that's just me. I just like to challenge my body. But I realize that that's not working out that hard on that level is not for everybody. So I do want this to be realistic for everybody. You need to gain weight. Okay. Hey, that's a good problem to have. You want to trade? So, okay, so you need to gain weight. So what you can do is beef up your protein. So however much you weigh, so if you weigh like 150 pounds, eat that much protein and you will keep your weight on. A lot of times, most of us, when we're trying to gain weight or keep weight, we're under eating on the protein. So that's the only way I was able to start to build muscle for myself. Well, really anybody, but I didn't know that years ago. And the master trainer I trained with for 8 months straight, he was like protein, 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 protein. Like he was not messing around with the protein. And he'd be like, I could tell that you're not eating protein. Like you've been doing, 6 weeks of workouts and you're just not, you're 95 pounds. Okay. So make sure you have 95 grams of protein a day, or even up it, right? Up your grams. So try to do like 110, 120. So you might have to eat throughout the day, like 5 times a day in, smaller portions, but 5 times throughout the day. So that way you can hold on to your weight. Also, lifting weights is really good for that too. So that way you're feeding your muscle and you'll be able to hold on to it. So I'm not sure what your calorie intake is, but you're going to have to up your calorie intake, of course, as well. Now, you don't want to gain, you don't want to gain bad weight, right? Like you're 95 pounds, you don't want to get to 110, but like it's blubber, right? So just up your protein and you should be able to hold on to that. But that's my opinion. That's what worked for me. That's what worked. So 8 years now I've been able to do it because I tried one thing for 90 days and then I tweaked it as the time went on. Okay. So, you have to look at your personality, your lifestyle, your, your surroundings, your work environment, your whatever it is. You have to really be realistic with what that is to then be able to sustain that particular diet, right? So, for example, I'm not sure if my sister's on anymore, but my sister, she's full Punjabi. I'm half Punjabi. When I'm over in the Punjabi, when I visit my family, the, it's super easy to not eat meat. You know why? You know why it's super easy to not eat meat? Because nobody eats meat. Everybody is following a strict Sikhism path, and in that path, there's no meat eating. So if I were to pluck you up and put you over there for 90 days, it'd be very easy. But if that's not realistic for you, if you know, like, okay, I'm a meat eater, that is what it is. So for you, if you're like, look, I can't not have my bagels. Like I can't not do it. So that's okay. Like we just have to tweak it and say, okay, well, let's reduce the bagels down to, twice a month, right? And then every time you eat a bagel, promise yourself you're going to go walking for 12 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just have to like constantly do tweakings and experiments so that way you end up figuring out the best program for you. But pick one, do it for 90 days, and then do tweakings along the way. You might end up finding that you have a combination of all those three. So like an anti-inflammatory diet, the carnivore diet, the whatever diet, you end up kind of like making your own Hallie diet, right? Because like, for example, for me, I don't really like calling myself a vegan because I don't eat 100% vegan. I like my ghee, Ghee. I still will have ghee. Once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, I'll still have cheese. Once, twice, 3 times, or I think technically having honey is not vegan either, if you really want to get serious. There's just things that I do that are not 100% vegan. So I just say I'm mainly plant-based. Right? So you may, sometimes we feel like we have to fit ourselves inside of a box because like that's what we've been told. Oh, how do you eat? Well, I eat the traditional American diet, or I eat vegan, or I eat vegetarian, and then it like puts you in a box. Like you might take a little bit from all of it. I also do a kind of like a more of a keto too, because I eat a lot of fat, a lot of good fat. I love my olive oil. I love my avocados. Those are two staples that are always like, I'm constantly putting olive oil on everything I can think of. I will have an avocado, a whole avocado, put some lemon, pepper, salt, sea salt, and eat it like it's like a snack. And you eat your meats, okay, that's awesome. As long, and I want to just encourage everyone that's eating meat, please just eat clean. Like, spend the extra $4, $5, $6, $7 and eat the cleaner meat, please, 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 please. So let me see what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys are saying. So okay. Hi, I think you meant to say Ciana. I know this is off topic, but I have trouble with positivity. How to have more a positive mindset. Okay, I will definitely dig into that. We'll try that. Thank you, Ciana. Yes, I've been thinking about merging them with other principles from my religion. I love that's beautiful. That's a perfect way to do it because it's realistic for you and it fits. It aligns with your who you are and it aligns with your principles and it aligns with like you just have to know you're tapped into, especially at being at the stage of life you are in now, 41 beautiful years on the planet. Like you pretty much know who you are and you know, okay, that's not going to work for me. You know, even though that's in the carnivore diet. That's why I think a lot of people fall off the diets too, because they'll all of a sudden feel bad, like almost have like remorse, like beat themselves up. Or oh my gosh, like I was supposed to fit in the box of the carnivore diet, but then like I had a bagel. So like, oh, I now have to start over. And it's like, no, like you don't have to, you could just make your own diet. People who are diabetic, sugar, get low sugar, eat candy or fruit. Yes. Yeah. Diabetes is a very real thing. You gotta lower your sugar intake. And there's actually a lot of things that spike your blood sugar. Do research, type in, 101 basics on blood sugar. You will be shooketh. You will be shooketh with the amount of things that spike your blood sugar that are not even sugar. Carrots, things like, of course, bagels, pasta, everything technically spikes it, but there's things that exponentially spike it. So you could be, really setting yourself up for failure. And you're like, well, wait a minute, but I don't eat candy. I don't eat like cakes. I don't eat cupcakes, but you could be spiking your blood sugar out of control. And then you're not using the energy. So all the blood sugar is doing is it's basically signaling like, okay, we have a ton of energy that's rushing into this body now, but like the energy can't, like we're still sitting here at a dinner table. So it spikes your blood sugar. And then what leads you into diabetes is that you become insulin resistant. So you don't want to go down that road. So just type it in. I'm still on my journey of really learning the ins and outs of blood sugar, but for some reason in the American school system, it's just not something that we were really taught. Okay, so going back up to positivity. So having trouble with positivity, how to be more positive. This is where you're going to really have to take the time to do the inner work. And it's very worth it to do the 30-day, 60-day, 90-day. And I still do this, but there was a time where I really had to check in and really do this and implement this on a consistent basis. You want to write down everything that you are thankful, that you can be thankful for. You would be shook. You would be shook with how many things that you don't realize you could be thankful for, even stuff that you don't have. So the beauty of being the age that I am now, I can look back. I have enough years behind me where I can look back. And there's things that I didn't get. And at the time I was like in a negative thought process with it, right? Like just negative, heavy, dark energy with it. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank God I didn't get that thing because now I have this. Now God blessed me with the thing 10 times better. So number one, write down everything that ended up like a situation you overcame, a strength that you gained from a problem that was you overcame. Write down, like force yourself to write down 101 things that you're thankful for. It could be tiny, it could be big. I'm thankful for my breath. I'm thankful for my eyebrows. I'm thankful for my hair. I'm thankful for the fact that I have 2 legs to walk on every day. I'm thankful for the fact that my acne is clearing up. I'm thankful for the fact that I have a mole here that I just enjoy looking at. I'm thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for my sister. I'm thankful for my nephew Amolik. I'm thankful for the fact that I'm in a car right now. This car, it's a good running, nice car that I get to drive. Like every single thing. As you're doing that, you won't really even realize it, but your body will start to release chemicals that are actually hormonal chemicals that are actually pushing you more into the dopamine. So you want to